Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with my final project using my PopFizzPaper Kit for July. This is the kit that I reviewed for the July kit review part of my series. So for this last one, I decided to go ahead and go with a project life page. The first two projects that I did with this kit were kind of an experiment to see if I can make it work. But I'll be honest with you. The project life pages and the memory planning were so much easier to do with this kit, obviously because it is a planner kit. The memory planning was very easy to do with it, but I found that the project life pages were actually the easiest to do with this kit. Just because of the scale of the product, the size of the paper being that it's 8.5 by 11, you can cut it up and use it in Project Life pretty easily, as well as the elements that were on the sheets. It was really easy to use those in the Project Life size. So anyways, I really like how this Project Life page turned out. I'm doing my standard where I have the Design A page protector. I use white matted photos or cards in the 4x6 pockets with squared corners, and then I always have the 3x4 cards in the middle with the rounded corners. I decided to go ahead and take one of these Polaroids from this paper and cut it out and actually put one of the photos in the Polaroids. So this is a picture of my friend's baby. He was born that month. This is May of 2015 that I'm doing right now. So I wanted to trim down the photo, and since I don't print at home, I don't like to test my cutting skills. I'd rather know. So what I did is I took a piece of the glassine bag and traced it, since it is somewhat transparent, and I'm going to layer it over the photo and cut it out right along with the photo. Now what I decided to do though is that first frame that I traced was going to be a little bit too large to fit on a Project Life card, and so I decided to change it to this longer, skinnier frame and then do the exact same thing there. The photo is actually pretty skinny anyway, so that was perfect for this. I've been doing the same thing, taking my Sharpie, tracing the inner box on the frame that I am going to use, and then I'm going to cut it out right on the photo at the same time, just by holding it over. It was really easy, and I really like the way that looks. Now the photo's not perfect. I'm going to trim it up a little bit once I actually layer it on there, because I wanted to see that black border around it. And as you can see, here we go, I'm just testing it again, and I really like how this card turned out. This was something I don't think I've ever done this, and I just really like the way that it turned out. So I'm really happy with this card. I really like this Project Life spread. I thought it was a really nice look. It's a nice mix of the bright colors with some kind of bright photos, because these photos have a little bit of every color. This week, or this part of the month, this was May of 2015. We didn't do a whole lot of stuff that was real memorable, but we did do a lot of different things. So I'm just documenting all the different things. My friend had her baby, so there's a picture of her on the left holding him, and then a picture of just him right beside that. There's a picture of a parking pass from when we went downtown for Mother's Day. And I don't really have any pictures from that. I just have the parking pass. I'm going to do my journaling right there on top of that parking pass. I have a picture of me in the gym with that pink shirt on and my headphones in. I have a picture of Ernest and Kaylin at the top. We had went to go eat at Zoe's Kitchen. It probably was for Mother's Day. Actually, no. That was for another day, but we enjoy Zoe's Kitchen. So there's a picture of us sitting outside there eating. There's a picture of Kaylin posing with some of the mannequins at Old Navy, which is kind of random. And then there's a picture of Yogurt Mountain where we had went and got ice cream one day, or frozen yogurt one day. So these are really random pictures. There's not a whole lot of theme to them, I guess. But that's also where a kit like this comes in handy, because the theme of this kit is just photography, basically. Hearts and photography. That's about all it is, and that can pretty much go with just about anything. I'm cutting out a couple different elements from the paper. So the kit came with 3 8.5 by 11 sheets of pattern paper, and it is patterned on both sides, different patterns. So it really gives you a bit of variety without having too much, really. It just gives you a lot of variety in using them. And each one of the pattern paper had elements on it that you could technically fussy cut. One was more designed for that with those larger icons. But then like this one with the small cameras, you could fussy cut every single one of those cameras if you want. Now I felt like this one was a little bit busy, so I take a bit of the tissue paper that was packaging in the kit and I'm going to layer it over that. You can definitely still see it through the tissue paper, which is my purpose, but it's not so busy, and that's why I used that tissue paper. If you notice in all of my kits, I keep all the glassine bags and the tissue paper, anything else that it may be packaged in, because I find it very useful in times like this to where I can use it over a pattern. Now I could just do the same and pull out vellum from my stash, but if they're going to give me tissue paper that something's packaged in, I might as well use it instead of throwing it away. I'm using a bit of that washi tape. That film strip washi tape came in the kit as well, and it's a really nice washi tape. It's got a bit of a like waxy surface, I think, so I don't know how useful it would be to write on top of, but I really like the look of it. It's actually got, I mean, it's transparent because it's washi tape, but it's got a little bit more of a cloudy look to the white parts of the tape, and I like that. I like that it's not totally see-through. So this top card looked like it was floating a bit, so I take a bit of blue paper from my scrap bin. All of the solid blue paper that you see here, it's not really, well, I guess it's like textured pattern paper. All of the blue paper that you see is from my scrap bin that I have. I just needed a little bit more solid paper to mix with this to make it to where it was a little bit more cohesive and not so busy. So that parking pass just says blunt deck, Blanc right. Blunt deck, Blunt right. Okay, it's Blunt Street is the name of the street that parking deck was on. I don't know why it says Blunt right. That seems strange to me, but okay. But it has the date and the time and all of that, so you can see it was at 5:43 p.m. on 5/9. And then I'm going to do my journaling right on top of there, and I love the way that this turns out. This is different. It's something that I don't typically do. I haven't done it like that. So I really like the way that looks. So I'm just kind of flipping through my kit, seeing what else I have left, seeing if there's anything else that kind of grabs me. I've got the base of the layout done. Now I just need to do some embellishing. And as you see, I like to keep all my little bits and pieces of paper. So I'm kind of sorting through here and just clustering the different types of things. I took out all the little blue pieces that were from my stash and put them at the top of the screen so they're there if I need them, but I wanted to try to really use the things that came in the kit versus just paper from my stash. Now I've got all these little sticker sheets trying to see if there's anything else that I want to use, and I end up using this icon sticker sheet, probably, or clip art sticker sheet, whatever you want to call it. I probably use it more than anything else in this kit, and that is funny to me because when I first opened the kit, that is the piece of thing, that's the sticker sheet that I like the least. But I have found that in scrapbooking, it is the most useful. It may not be quite as functional in a planner. It would be more decorative, obviously, but in scrapbooking, it is definitely useful and very functional, and it's perfect size for project life, again, as I mentioned before. Just using a couple of different stickers. I'm going to use this little half box checklist for my journaling, and I'm just going to write "can't stop him from the camera." He loves to pose with these mannequins, which is like really weird. But he loves posing with the mannequins and taking pictures. So I have a lot of strange posed pictures of Kayla with mannequins. I mean, why not? They're fine. He was standing with a mannequin the other day, and it was a girl. It was like in the girl section of a clothing store, and she had no head. It was just her body. So he like had his arm around her, standing next to this girl with no head. I was like, okay, you were weird. But that's my child. That's my child all day long. So I'm going to use my grid mat here to draw some journaling lines, and I'm just going to use my sharpening pen. This was, as I mentioned, a parking pass. I wasn't sure the material, if it was slightly slick, so I wasn't sure if it was really going to hold the ink very well. This was completely a test, and I'm glad it worked out, because if it didn't, I don't have another one, so I'm glad it worked out. And I'm just going to put fun downtown at Beasley's Chicken and Honey, then ice cream at Cold Stone. Oh, so very yummy. And I had put that on that Post-it note that you see off to the right. I had put that with the parking pass that I would remember what we had done that day. It's funny that we went to Cold Stone, but I have a picture of Yogurt Mountain, like a cup of Yogurt Mountain. So apparently we went and got ice cream a couple times that month. It must have been a hot month. I'm going to pull out a couple different alphas here, trying to see what I can use. And I'm going to use these Julie Bean Soup alpha beans to write the word Levi because that's my friend's baby's name. So I created a little banner on the bottom of that Polaroid, and I just used one of the offcuts from that blue paper. And that blue paper was actually the paper that I cut the Polaroid out from. So I just used the little blue piece that was left and cut it into a banner. Then I'm going to use these, Kaisercraft. There we go. I was going to say Cosmo Cricket, but that's not it. It's Kaisercraft. These Kaisercraft tiny alphas. Oh, they're awesome. Love these. Love these. Love these. If you can get your hands on some, by all means do. I have a friend in New Zealand that sent me a whole bunch of them. She probably sent me like 10 different colors, and I love them. Thank you so much. And I'm just writing my journaling, which I already read to you. So that's going to kind of finish this card. Now, I do have a tiny piece of a doily sitting off on my desk that I had left over from another project. I like to leave things like that on my desk when I have leftover pieces from things. So I'm going to take that and split it between two cards. I'm going to put it on this one with the journaling and the parking pass, and I'm also going to put a little of it on the title card. Now that May 2015 title card, just so you know what that is actually from an Ellie Studio card pack. Anytime you order from Ellie Studio, usually you get a card, like a free card, and it's usually the monthly calendar cards, but I went ahead and purchased the 2015 calendar cards so I can use them on every title card for my 2015 album. Now I'll probably go ahead and do the same for my 2016, which I haven't really started yet. Let's not pretend like I'm caught up or anything. I've done a 2016 spread, but it was not, it was done for a YouTube hop with One Little Bird that I participated in a couple months ago. Go back and check that out if you missed it because it's really cute. I really like it. And also I have a Cricut, but I don't have like a Silhouette or something that I can hook up to my computer and print those digital files. So I printed them at Staples and cut them out myself. So if you do not have a digital cutting machine, there are definitely ways that you can still use those products. So make sure you go back and check out that video. All right, so I'm going to use a little bit of this Post-it note. I like the fact that Post-it notes have been coming in kits here recently. I think those are cool. I've gotten like 4, I think, from different kits, but I like the fact, and they're really cute and patterned, and I like the fact that you can cut them apart and use them as journaling spots or layering elements on your page. And this one was really cute because I had the Polaroids on there, and so I'm just going to use it as a layering piece on this title card. And I really like the way that that looks, and I'm going to use a few more stickers, of course, and then on my little bits of scrap paper that I had left over, I decided to cut out some of these hearts. So you're going to see me layer these on a couple different pieces, a couple different cards throughout the page. I have already layered on a few of them, but you're going to see me continue to use those. And then also, which I've already done, but I did layer just a fork, knife, and spoon little icon sticker over the banner on that Yogurt Mountain card. And I had just put Yogurt Mountain on the banner, and then I put the little fork, knife, and spoon over top of that. I felt like the top of this May 2015 was floating a bit, so I just took another little scrap of that blue paper and put it up there at the top of that card just to make it a little bit more complete looking. Since the blue scrap that I had layered under my May 2015 calendar, since that was not quite tall enough, it didn't stick out above the May 2015, so I'm just using little scraps of paper to fill in that gap. I like using scraps. I use them if at all possible. As I've mentioned before, eventually I'm going to put up a class. I've been working on it for quite some time, but it's just taking me a while. I don't know why, but I think I want it to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, so I'm still working on it. But my class is going to be all about how to use scraps in different ways, and there's going to be a PDF with sketches and things like that. I am really big on scraps. I don't like throwing anything away. I pretty much keep anything that's bigger than 1/8 of an inch wide, and or maybe 1/4 of an inch, depending on if I really like the paper, and anything that's substantial that I could punch something out of. I will keep. And I have about 3 different ways that I organize my scraps. So I'm going to do a class at some point and share all of that, and then also give tips on how to use up those scraps without having to throw them away. I made a little tab out of one of those blue scraps that was from the paper that I had pulled from my stash. This is where I'm going to pull out that doily. Just going to use it in the 2 different places, here on this card and then also on my title card. I think it just adds a little bit, especially against that blue on this card, and then it's going to have the white tone on tone effect on the title card. I am pretty much done with this layout. I love how it turned out. Make sure you stay tuned and look at the still shots at the end, but you can also check out my blog, because I always post for every process video that I do a blog post that coordinates with it, with still shots of the layout, as well as just a little bit more information. Also, make sure you check out my Facebook group. I've started a Design by Melody Facebook group, and so make sure you check that out, because I'm getting better. At first I wasn't so good, because I thought I was posting and I wasn't. I was posting on my personal page instead of on the group page, so I fixed that. And now I should be posting pretty regularly all of the things that are going up on my YouTube channel. And also, just a hint, I was chosen to be part of a design team, and I'm not going to announce it yet because I don't know if it's announced on the blog for the company yet, but it's for a stamp company. So you will start seeing a couple of different types of videos from me, as well as my kit review series. So anyways, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a great day and enjoy your afternoon. Bye guys.